everyone, so today's video is going to be on brushes. If you've seen my previous video on my recommendations for makeup products for beginners, then you would know that I did say I was going to do a video on brushes. If you're looking to start your brush collection or maybe add to what you already have, keep watching this video. So makeup brushes are very essential if you want a very nice, clean, flawless look, flawless finish, precise, neat finish to your makeup look. I mean, some people tend to use their fingers or even sponges, but personally for me, I feel like brushes just take it to another level and they make it so much easier anyway. So first thing is foundation. So depending on what type of foundation, you have your liquid, cream, stick foundation, so they do come in different formulas. I feel like cream and liquid are more popular. The first one is this brush. This is known as the Duo Fiber brush, and that looks like that. When I first started out with foundation, when I started wearing foundation, I used this brush because this is what I saw on YouTube. This brush doesn't allow you to apply too much product into your face. It just gives a nice, nice coverage. So the first one, for if you're just starting out, I'll recommend this one. And then we have the ones that look like these. These are like the smaller version of the Duo Fiber brushes. I really like this one for more blending, more like flawless blending. So one of them is by MAC, and I think this is like a cheaper version, but I can't remember the brand. I think it was like a plain brand. This is the 188 by MAC. And I really like this one for foundation as well. It's really, really nice. Even for smaller areas of your face that you want to blend out a bit more, maybe your under eye concealer, this is really, really good. And this is just the alternative, it's exactly the same. I just feel like they take a lot longer to blend all over your face, so I would want to use something a lot more bigger with a larger area to cover on your face. But these brushes are really, really good for really nice blending. I also have this brush, which is by e.l.f. This is the powder brush. So it was originally designed for for applying powder, but I feel this works really, really well for liquid foundation. The first one also works well for liquid foundation as well. So this one's by e.l.f. It's very affordable. I think it was about £5. Then we have this one, which is pretty similar to the previous one by e.l.f., but this is also by Sigma, and this is called the Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki brush, and it's very dense. So this allows, this allows you to buff in the colour into your skin. So basically you apply it, and if you do this sort of motion, it buffs in and gives a really nice flawless look. So this is another one you could use for liquid foundation. And then we have this one, the final one. This is by Real Techniques. This is called the Buffer Brush. And this is also really nice and soft. And this is my favourite one, which I use for myself. And I also use on clients as well. I absolutely love how it feels on the skin. It doesn't leave any streak lines or that sort of thing. And it just blends really well. So for my personal choice, I feel like the Real Techniques brush will be the better choice for liquid foundation, or either the e.l.f. or the Sigma flat top brush. I am not really too fond of this brush because one, I find that the hairs definitely shed, so when you're applying liquid foundation, you see the hairs all over your face, which is really, really annoying, and I don't think it really gives a full coverage. I like to use full coverage foundation, medium to full coverage. And I find that this doesn't really give that sort of look. So if you wanted something that's less coverage, then I would use this. But personally for me, it's not my favourite. Then we move on to concealer. Concealer can be applied in different ways. Some people tend to use their finger, their ring finger, and pat it on their face in the areas that they need to use concealer. But I also like to use brushes. So that I have 4 different brushes I can recommend for you. The first one is this brush. This is a fluffy blending brush. The name's rubbed off. It was a tapered blending brush by Sigma, the E40. MAC also do their version, which is the MAC 224. And normally that's an eye brush, but I find it better to use for applying my concealer because it's fluffy and it blends really well. Now for more precise application for concealer, like maybe your eyebrows or just certain areas of your face. I have 3 brushes here. The first one is this one. Also, the name has rubbed off from this one. I think it's the E70 concealer brush. This is also by Sigma. So this is obviously for more precise application, for smaller areas, more precise areas of your face. And we have this ratchet brush, which broke and I just have sellotape around it. Another Sigma brush. This is a synthetic brush, and this is the F75. This one I use for shaping my brows and also outlining and neatening off my lip colour. My lipstick is smaller and thinner, so I find this is a lot easier to sort of apply concealer on my brows and shape my brows really well. The final one, which is this brush, this is the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques. This one is perfect as well for under your eye application, cream concealers or even liquid concealers, like tapping under your eye, and it just applies really well. My 2 favourites will have to be the taper blending brush and the pointed foundation brush for application of concealer. Then we have your powder brushes. So this is what you'd use to apply your face powder. The first one is what I personally use, and this is also by Sigma. This is the tapered face brush. As you can see, the brush is fluffy but also tapers, sort of goes thinner, like more like a pointy tip. Now I like this brush because it's perfect for when you get to the corners of your face. It just basically helps also to blend my under eye concealer with my face powder. I find that it helps to do that very well. At the same time, it doesn't splay out too much, so you can apply it to the corners, side of your nose, around the temples as well. Some people can use this for contouring as well because it's like a bigger fluffy brush, so it helps also to blend out that contour line. But I personally use mine for powder. Then you have your regular powder brush, and this is a large powder by Sigma, the F30, and this is just a, your classic powder brush really. It's a big fluffy brush, and that's just good for applying powder to your face. And then if you wanted something that doesn't give you too much product, that sort of covers a larger area of your face, I would also go for the large paddle brush by Sigma as well. So you can definitely cover a bigger part of your face when you're applying your powder. The next brushes are for applying blush, so blush to your cheeks. You have your regular angled brush. This is the large contour brush by Sigma, and this is the number F40, and as you can see it is angled, so you can definitely fit it in the hollows of your cheeks and apply your blush. It also doubles up as a contour brush because obviously it's called a large angled contour brush. You can turn it on its side and apply your contour. You can turn it to the front and apply your blush. This brush, this is an e.l.f. blush brush. And this is also good for applying blush, as it says. This is good for just sort of tapping the blush onto the apples of your cheeks like that. And it works very well for that. Or we have this brush by Real Techniques, the blush brush. It's a pretty large brush, as you can see. And this, some people use this for powder, some use it for contouring as well, but I personally wouldn't do, I'd personally use it for blush because it's quite a wide fluffy brush, which means that it wouldn't pick up too much colour, and just it would also blend out the colour as well if you use it on your cheeks. Then we have this brush. This is a blush brush as well from Sigma, and the name is rubbed off. This is also good for applying blush to your cheeks. I like that it's flat, and the shape of it just helps you apply it to your cheeks a lot better and also blend. Now for contouring, for those who contour for cheekbones, like I said, the large angled contour brush is perfect for contouring your cheekbones and also your chin and your temples. And then we have this brush by Real Techniques, and this is called the contour brush, and it's really nice and just fits into the hollows of your cheeks as well. And the fact that it's round and fluffy, it definitely blends out that line. This is what I use for applying my contour powder. This brush is the smaller version of tapered face brush. This is the tapered highlighter brush. It's actually meant for highlighting, you know, the top of your cheeks with maybe like a highlighting powder or a cream highlight, but you can also use it as a contour brush. So I hope this is helpful. Like I said, I'll put everything in the description box. This is part 1. I will be doing part 2, which focuses on eye brushes and all the different types of brushes and what they're used for and what I would recommend and what I would say can be used for multiple purposes. So I will list all the names and links in the description box for you to have a look at if you haven't already checked out these brushes before. But I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye guys!